they've been really the most consistent side throughout this series.
They certainly have. Having got the fact that they're probably less experienced than the Bangladesh team. It's a very good effort, especially with a big tournament coming up. These young guys will be putting pressure on the guys, the IPL boys who will be coming into the team for the Champions Trophy to say, hey, look, we're ready if you guys ain't.
You can see the top order there. It's interesting that Corey Anderson and Jimmy Nisha pairing to today. New Zealand have already claimed that rather impressive looking trophy. You can see Ronke there on the left of the picture and the captain Latham. They've had some decent opening partnerships, 70 in the last game in the first 10 overs. Ronke's been the man to start the initial thrust of the innings, get the run rate escalated quite quickly. So watch him and how he plays in these first few overs. Latham has then carried on in the last two games, got a 50 at Clontarf and then 100 in the last match.
Bangladesh, they've got a point to prove. A week ago they lost to the same opposition. And they certainly want to put that right this week. And again, both teams are in the same group for the Champions Trophy, so they want to get that psychological advantage over each other, which is so important going forward.
Yeah, I guess they wouldn't admit it, but they will have one eye, no doubt, about looking forward a little to that match at Cardiff, the last match in the group for these two sides. So another chance here just to get if there is a psychological advantage, to get it today. Plenty of support for the Bangladesh side. It'll be interesting to see how Bangladesh start their bowling. They started with Shakib and Mashrafi last time, and they didn't really try to take wickets. They dropped slips out early on. It was very much conservation of runs and trying to subdue them, perhaps because they felt 257 wasn't enough.
Well, yeah, perhaps that was the case. We certainly said that on commentary, that within the first 6 overs, I mean, there's no slips, and also the Bangladeshi captain turned to spin very quickly on a pitch where it wasn't really offering that much for the spinners. So that was the bizarre tactic, but so be it. That's how they wanted to go about their business. But there was, I do feel, a turning point. That LBW shout against Jimmy Nisha, if that would have gone to Bangladesh's way, I think, and I'm feeling that it could have turned out a little bit different.
Well, Mashrafi is going to start the bowling for Bangladesh. New Zealand coach on the left there, Mike Hesson. Craig McMillan alongside him. Nowadays. Oh, one side, and gets away with it.
Very lucky to get away with it.
That's a really a judgment call, that one, for Rolly Black, local umpire. Bowling in at the moment. One slip in place. Was that? No.
I think the height might have been an issue there.
Oh, Rolly Black's been in the action. Wide first ball, had to make a big decision second ball. This one, just again coming back a little bit and Latham falling over to the offside, the heavy head. Just enough movement to defeat the inside edge of the bat. Oh, down he goes. Dear me, it's all happening in the first over. Appeals, catches, dear. In and out. Bit of good fortune for Tom Latham. Times it. Straight to Nasser Hussain. That's not the commentator, they aren't playing with 12 today. No, he's the off-spinner, you can see just tucked away. And just to the left, two hands come. Double height. Oh, must really come. Yeah, it's been a mixed kind of over. The first two very wide, then one that's come back, and then this. That really should have been held, and Tom Latham is just off 100 and a 50.
Well, he's not going to miss out on that. Bit of width on offer. Left-handers love it out there.
Over. 6 without loss. But what an over. Eventful. Wides, boundaries, dropped catches. Where was the 6?
Yeah, it's all going off here at Clontarf. Tom Latham getting a boundary away early in his innings. That will settle the nerves a little bit after the early LBW shout.
Is very effective, variations, change of pace, cutters. Everybody has had trouble with him in this tournament on these slowish pitches, early season here.
Certainly is a class act, Mr. Fizzer. When Bangladesh have been in trouble, the captain has gone to him for control, for wickets. He's got traditional action, but he's got that flick of the wrist, which gets him to cut the ball again. The right-hander takes the ball away from almost under their nose and gives the ball back into the left-hander, giving him no room to work with.
It's very effective. Causes people like Ronke a bit of trouble because he's looking to get into the big drives as well, and the ball not quite there for him. Get a little bit of movement, go well back into the right-hander.
Yeah, as a right-hander, you've got to be careful, especially when you're driving against someone like Mr. Fizzo, because you've got the ability to nick the ball back in, but then also you can cut the ball again away from the right-hander. Typically, normal left-handers will just angle the ball across. They won't necessarily cut the ball. They will generally try and swing the ball back in. So they
bit of movement, too close to cut.
And that's the thing with Mustafa, it doesn't give you much room to work with. He bowls a very tight line. It makes it very difficult for the right-hander to get him away.
Yeah, he's not express. And so it's not that concerns you. So you start to look for more shots, particularly if you've cast in the role that Ronke is, to get up and running. But you've got to be watching him carefully because he does have a bit of movement and he does get this variation of the cutter.
He's not your typical left-hander who tries to pitch the ball up and tries to swing the ball back into the right-handers, trying to get the LBs and bowls who try and cut the ball off the wicket, which makes it very tricky when you're trying to drive it.
Also, just short of the length, it can sometimes, as a right-hander, you can fall over waiting for the ball. The LBW, as well as Ross Taylor was in the first game here. There's some good timing out there. The new ball can sometimes help that.
Yes, and the fact that Tom Latham is in mighty fine form, he's timed that magnificently. Effortless.
Just slightly fuller there so he could get over that rather than just lifting it as he did in the first over to Mashrafi. But there is his series. Started with 15 and then 104 the last match from 111. Decent strike rate. 2 overs gone. It's 13 without loss. Happy already. Now that they're not sitting amongst 3 strokes, they're actually standing. Now let's have a look at Mashrafi's first over. He's just into his second at this stage, and it was a lively kind of over in terms of width. Come back to that in a moment for you. We've got people spooling things and all sorts of stuff in the back, folks. Oh, he's just, again, eased this way. Geez, strong square. Let's have a look at this first over, just while we go and do a collection job there. This is the first ball. Just movement and then the over correction outside there. And then a decent delivery. Tucked away, dropped just by the man in front of square, then the boundary. So it was a very eventful, a lovely drive, but couldn't pierce that arc of fieldsman. So plenty of action. Back line now, and here's the last boundary of this over. This time not a cut so much as a punch. before, just because it is a bit harder and so on, it just comes on that extra bit for you as a batsman. There he is punching in, no one's really moved. That's going to be another comfortable boundary.
Now that is a shot of a man in form. Just stepping back slightly and just punching it through extra cover. Tell you what, that is a high-class cricket shot. But also just perhaps a... Some optimism from one of the supporters. Round the wicket. 3 overs gone. It's 21 without loss. Interesting start here. It hasn't been Ronke at all. He's only faced one ball, mind. So Latham's done all the striking, but he's up and running. Yeah, it's normally the other way around, isn't it? Luke Ronke's the one who's first out the blocks. Shot here and boundary here and boundary there.
Pleasant day here on Taff. Southern to the north and to the east of Dublin. Latham altered the score. Now, Ronke getting on the end. He does with a single. Ronke's been effective for New Zealand. He's got up and got boundaries very quickly. You can see, look at the strike rates there. 26 balls in the first game against Ireland. 27 off 27. 35 from 31. And a high percentage of boundaries in those innings. A couple of sixes as well. Today,
I know you say he's been effective, but I'm pretty sure he would be feeling that he's missing out on some opportunities. When you're in good form like Ronke is, because you can only have to watch it for 10 minutes to see how well he's striking the ball, you would feel that when you get 30s and 25s, you've done the hard work. That's the time you need to kick on and get the big scores like your 70s and 80s, and maybe even kick on and get 100. The batting coach, I'm sure, would have spoken to Ronke about kicking on, and there's a great opportunity today for him to do that.
this field, a lot of misfortune on half of in the first match as well. New Zealand were disappointed with the way they performed in the park. Yeah, there's also an interesting battle going on between these two at the crease at the moment. I mean, just recently, in order to get a bit of different balance to the New Zealand one-day side, Tom Latham has been doing the wicketkeeping. And he didn't get many runs. He then went on and opened. There's a slower ball, it's in the air. That's a drive from Ronke, and the catch as well. Just what we were talking of.
Yeah, and that's the exact dismissal what Mr. Chris is always looking for against the right-hander. He will try and lure you into the drive, and you'll think it's there, but because he's got this ability to cut the ball, it just dips on you, and that's what happens.
Well, so Ronke the pass this time. 2, it's caught Shakib, a comfortable catch in the covers, and again, Mustafiz is the danger man. 23 for 1.
was trying to hit over the top. Perhaps trying to get it in on the act to see Tom Latham quick out the blocks today. It's something where Blue Block should have been aware of.
Good over from Mr. Fizz. So 23 for 1 after 4.
Latham not missing out on any opportunity to score. As soon as the bowlers got it wrong, just like there, he gets something on it, away she goes.
That's going to be an interesting one for this New Zealand selectors about Latham. Work that into the leg side quite deliberately. Shortness of length to enable him to get it to mid-wicket. 29 for 1 after 5. once he just gets into his work, he can be quite nippy. Certainly speaking to Courtney Walsh during this series, he's been very impressed with the extra pace actually that Rubel Hussain has been able to generate recently. Goes through this sort of pre-bowling routine where he sort of does a half squat there and then he's into his work. Puts quite a lot into it at the death, I would say. Luke Ronke, of course, the man who's been dismissed today. This was the first match played at Clontarf. Looking to go onside, he gets an outside kind of middle leading edge and was taken. And today again going for a drive. He's deliberately going offside here, but it's still deceived by a lack of pace. So good work, both times dismissed by Mustafiz. Here's Rubel again back live.
Yeah, Mustafiz is a tricky customer. You really have to be disciplined on your driving against him off the front foot. Allows the ball to dip just right at the end, and you're not quite there when you're driving, and the ball ends up going straight up in the air.
Different kind of bowler, Rubel Hussain, but perhaps a bit of extra pace and also can surprise you with a bouncer as well occasionally. The wrist position of Rubel just falling away slightly.
Yeah, by all accounts, he's pretty nippy. I had a chat with a couple of the New Zealand players earlier, and they mentioned that he does actually hit the bat harder than you think he will.
That's a good stroke. That's a typical Neil Bruin stroke. Just had a nice, easy, powered sort of stroke. It's very sort of aesthetically pleasing.
Well, yeah, one thing you can say, they're definitely not struggling for timing. I mean, that shot is just one stride, bang. Makes it look very easy.
Good transfer of weight through to the front foot and the body through the ball. So, naturally enough, he goes a little bit shorter to finish the 6th over, 34 for 1. Change in the bowling. Nasser Hussain coming in now. Put a charge down in the 1st over. Bowling around the wicket. Tom Latham. Here was the timing. Quite well. It's a couple to start.
Well, best financial institution of the year 2016. Citibank awarded the DHL Daily Star Business Award.
That you've got to be busy at this stage of the innings. You've got to get your bat up, look to attack first. And then if it's not going to be an attacking stroke, then you want to angle it inside the circle. Make that 6 with the slip, of course. But they're guarding that single quite closely. But you've got to be able to not just dead back the ball. It's a dead ball.
Well, yeah, it's all determined by the state of mind of a batsman. It's where they are mentally. Are they looking to attack from the off? Or are they thinking, let me defend first, let me save my wicket first?
Well, it's easy pickings for Tom Latham.
Well, he has not missed out on any opportunity to be scoring runs. As soon as they've heard into his area as a batsman with what you would call his scoring zone, really has capitalised on anything loose.
Shakib Hussain used here first in the last match. Maybe the left hand Tom Latham has introduced the off spin and always going away. Oh dear, it's beaten cover. Shakib a little bit slow going down, and it's 4 despite the despairing dive. So a loose first over from Nasir, and 44 for 1. So a punched back foot drive from Tom Latham. Last ball of the over. Tamim Iqbal trying to save the boundary. Can't do it. That's got enough of a hand on it to push it back in. Seven boundaries from the 7 overs bowled. Got to work hard, Nasir. Latham up and running. Just a bit short, a bit wide. Mustafiz has come back. Just at the 1 over. Mustafiz replaces him. Perhaps Rebel will come round to the other end after that's a 1 over for 10. Not sure how long Mustafiz can allow that to occur.
Go-to man for Mushraf if he needs control, and he certainly needs a little bit of control right now, especially against Tom Latham. Tom Latham absolutely flying. Mustafiz had a very, very good series, 4 wickets against Ireland, always very economical.
A hint of the ball carrying in the air a little further than Broome might be comfortable with. A suggestion that again, just the lack of pace. He's playing, yes, you can see the fingers rolling down the side of the ball, and then it's in the air.
That's the delivery I was talking about. If you're not onto it, if you don't pick that up and you think it's there to drive, the ball has that tendency to kick out of the ground, end up slicing the ball in the air.
Some good work in the covers there, just keeping it down to just the 1 run.
Both the batsmen looking in good touch for New Zealand. Broome's only on 5, but you can just see with his assured footwork. And he's playing the ball late, not rushing into his shots.
had an impressive series. This was part of the 4 wickets he got against Ireland. There's a little bit of bounce and it's gone to a fine gully. Niall O'Brien has cut one and picked out third man. Drive is here, not quite there, and a very good catch running in from Mossadegh was sweeping. And then one that he was a little bit lucky with, getting Sterling just from the hit. But 4 wickets in that last match that opened the game up. Again, just a lack of pace, almost a chance to gully. .47 for 1 from 8. So New Zealand have lost the 1 wicket so far, that of Luke Ronke, caught in the covers, driving. Mustafis has been the pick of the bowlers for Bangladesh. Pick of commentators, well, it's going to be John Mooney with Alan Lewis.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Lovely to be here, Mooners. Another glorious day here in Clontarf. A lot better weather than we had the last time, and certainly pleasing the adoring Bangladesh crowd that are with us today.
Thank you, Alan. Lovely to be here. Great day. That's a lovely shot there from Broome into the offside. Nice 2 there from the New Zealand players, and good start from New Zealand.
Key here is placement, and Broome has been in excellent nick in this series, and it's continuing here. Shaki brought into the attack here in the 9th over, which tells us a story. One of the things, John, again, Bangladesh is fielding for one of the better fielders like yourself in international cricket. I'd say you'd be pretty unhappy if you were their fielding coach at the moment.
Well, Tom Latham isn't unhappy, but the fielding coach I'm sure is. Make the most of it.
Speaking about fielding, John, and obviously you've been involved with it. One of the big aspects that you look for in a fielding team, you're looking at this Bangladesh team out here. What are the big aspects that you'd like to see improving?
Well, I actually think the Bangladeshis are a good fielding team. I think Nasser Hussain has come into the team today and maybe just got a bit cold coming in, but in general they're quite good in the field.
Eased into the onside there by Latham.
He's on the move, trying to